Nearly 3 years after Atatiana Jefferson was shot and killed in her own home, the murder trial of former Fort Worth police officer Aaron Dean finally started this morning after a lot of delays. Investigative reporter Tanya Iser has been following this case every step of the way and joins us now live to talk more about this. And Tanya, you know, we say you followed this case every step of the way. This one has been extraordinary just because of the length of time it has taken us to get to this point. We had half a day in the courtroom today. Talk to us first about the initial witness who was brought to the stand, Atatiana's young nephew. He was 8 years old at the time and witnessed an awful night.
Yeah, he certainly did. I mean, just imagining what this young child went through at 8 years old. He's now 11. He's in the 6th grade. And a lot of people were asking, well, why would the prosecution start with him as their first witness? And in talking to legal experts, what they tell me is that oftentimes in a trial, what you want to do is you want to start with a family member who's going to help you connect to the victim, and the victim in this case, Atatiana Jefferson. And in some ways, he also offers something else. So not only is he a family member of Atatiana Jefferson, you know, he talked about how they made hamburgers that night and the things that were going on and how she taught him how to mow the yard and that kind of thing. But he also offered perspective as the star witness of this trial, the only witness, except for police officers, who witnessed what happened. Now, one of the interesting things that came out is that both, I think the prosecution and the defense were actually a bit surprised by his testimony. When he was initially interviewed after this incident and in subsequent interviews, he had always said that his aunt that when she approached the window had the gun raised and was pointing it at the window. Today he said pretty consistently that the gun was actually down by her side and that she never raised the weapon, and he even demonstrated that to the courtroom. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out, and because the original testimony might have tended to favor the defense, and I'm assuming they're going to want to bring into evidence his videotape testimony when he talked to the authorities in the beginning.
It is an interesting twist early on in this trial. We also had another one today. It was an incident today between the judge and local attorney Lee Merritt, who a lot of people know. He is representing the Jefferson family in a civil case. I want to play a little bit of it here, and then we'll talk to you about it on the other side, Tanya.
Okay.
It's my understanding you've been next door watching the trial?
Yes, sir.
As a witness, you're not allowed to do that. If you want to watch the trial, you got to do it outside the courtroom. Actually, I'm telling you not to watch the trial.
Yeah, the judge was clearly not happy at all. He made it very clear that Lee Merritt is a witness and that he should not have been listening. He was actually listening to the testimony in another room. They have an auxiliary courtroom where they have the trial playing. And he actually admonished him, basically telling him, you're an attorney and you know better than that. So he made it very clear that he should not be watching this trial. And it will be interesting. The defense was asked if they plan to call Lee Merritt as a witness later, and they said they don't know. So we'll be interesting to see if that actually happens or not.
So we only had half a day in the courtroom today because there was a funeral that a lot of folks involved with the trial had to get to. Tanya, what do we expect to happen when this picks up again tomorrow?
I think we're gonna start with, you know, building the building blocks of this case. We're gonna probably hear from maybe the other officer who was with Aaron Dean that night, and then the officers who first responded. I think they're going to walk us through it. We could also hear from the detective assigned to the case, but I think they're going to just start building the chronology of this case. That's what I would expect, and we'll have to see.
And Tanya, I know that you're going to be here throughout, streaming the whole thing, WFAA Plus, as well as on our website and on our YouTube channel. And we'll keep checking back with you too in the afternoons. Thanks, Tanya.